Hey, how's it going? My name is Darius, and welcome to my first ever YouTube video. We are going to be making a gunmetal bolt action pen kit. This is going to be a very cool pen when it's done. We have here the top part of the pen, and you can see that it does have a mechanism that activates the pen itself. And that is pretty cool to look at, as well as the actual clip that goes into your shirt pocket. It's a cool looking gun right there with the scope. And this part is the front or pen tip. You can see that it's a gunmetal surface with a actual replica of a bullet, but it's not actually real, but it resembles an actual bullet from I believe a 50 caliber gun. I may be wrong about that, but it looks to be that bullet size. But enough of that, and let's get to turning this pen blank. Apparently this thing came out. That is not good. Okay. Let's try this again. Forgot about this guy. Yeah, we always have to make sure that the rest is in place before turning a pen. Make sure this is locked down too. Don't want anything becoming loose or defective. Okay, let's try this again. Alright, we are done with the turning part. Now all we have to do is the sanding part of it, and that shouldn't take long at all. I have 8 separate sandpapers that I like to use. I have a 60 grit going up to a 400 grit. And that tends to have a great benefit on the pens that I make, and so I will keep using that method as long as these papers last. So yeah, let's get to sanding, and then we should be close to done with this thing. Actually, almost forgot. Now that the cutting part is done, I no longer need the glasses, but I do need to wear this because the fine dust is not that much healthier than wood is, and it kind of irritates your lungs. So, safety first. Okay, after several minutes of sanding, this thing is looking beautiful. Nice and smooth on the outside surface, that's what we want, and not seeing any scratches whatsoever with this. So that means I did a good job. That's what we want from acrylics like these. Now I'm going to put my sandpaper away since we won't be using that anymore. So I just put that to the side. And then now is the time to put my safety glasses on because the polish tends to splash off if I use too much of it, but I try and use the perfect amounts every time I make a pen, so we have no worries on that. Okay, so this is the one-step polish that I use for finishing pens like these. This is a one-step plastic polish. This is really good for finishing off your work. I've been using this all summer, and hasn't let me down one bit. So this is a good product to use. Highly recommend it. And let's finish off this pen blink. Okay, that polishing is done. This thing is looking pretty slick. Not disappointed with this at all. I'll take it off the lathe now to show you guys. Yeah, polishing doesn't take that long to do, which is great. But, ladies and gentlemen, the pen might not be finished, but look at that piece of plastic right here. That is pretty nice looking. And you can tell and see that it's smooth on the outside surface. And the plastic polish finishes it off just perfectly. Hardly any scratches at all. And that's what this product is made to do. So, that is looking pretty nice. Now, we're going to take off the chuck and the mandrel. And sometimes I have to this guy out as well, because comes apart easily. It's a two-piece chuck. But now comes the fun part. We get to assemble this thing now. And this is the part where I try not to screw up. Because assembling is quite nerve-wracking if anything goes wrong. Because that does happen sometimes. Either it doesn't fit properly or it wasn't properly engineered right, but I'm sure we'll be okay. I'm sure we'll be fine with my blank. Oh, there it is. So that I'm gonna have the front end go into here. We're gonna compress the blank so it's permanently sealed. I'm gonna take my handy dandy second hand here. And then we're going to just gently compress that piece into the blank. And that is in. Perfectly flush with the ends here. And it's a perfect fit for your handy right. Nice. That is what we want. And then we're going to take off this top here. We install that guy back on there because we don't want to compress the threads, because that would be very, very bad. And then we're going to put this back in again. Lock that down so it doesn't move on us. And then one last compression. And this is my favorite part of finishing off the pen. But first I have to assemble this guy back on here. That goes on smoothly. Sometimes it's a little bit tricky to get it in there. And then once that is in, we get to put this pen cartridge in there like that. And then my favorite part, most favorite part, is finishing off the pen with this. Now we have a complete functional pen. Check that out. A complete gunmetal bolt action pen with black, gray, and white camo acrylic. That is one beauty. Well, alright guys, hope you enjoyed that. Hope you enjoyed that video. I will do more of these in the upcoming months. Feel free to leave a like down in the description, and feel free to also subscribe. I will deeply appreciate that. And but for now, we have a complete pen, which I'm very proud of. I believe that's all we have to do today. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Talk to you then.